professional. That's where I worked in 2012, and their roster is just, it's massive. So, and one of the things that, I've learned and I've come to understand is very rarely is there something that's truly organically, viral. My bassist and I shot a video for Chicago Music Exchange called 100 Bass Riffs, where we played 100 riffs in succession, like, drummer, bassist, without stopping. It's 18 minutes. I think it's on its way to like 4 million views.
That's cool.
So,
yeah. I got to look this up.
So that's like a viral video in the sense of what we created was it was something that merited people sharing or talking about it because it was impressive in the sense of 100 songs in a row without stopping, going from time signatures and tempos seamlessly and together. It warranted conversation. But, in marketing, a lot of times what we see as viral is just somebody having a marketing budget and just putting a bunch into something, plugging in the demographics, the ages, the sex, the area, even who their employer is, and picking out who it is they want to see it, and having the algorithm just actually even show you potentially how many people will see this and what you can, that's Facebook for you.
I love it whenever, Brady and I will be in various meetings throughout the week and stuff. And I recall, a few years back, everybody wanted a viral video. So you'd be in these meetings and people would be like, okay, we need to make a viral video. Okay. Well, easier said than done. You don't think we were trying to do that?
Oh, yeah. Come on. I'd love to just, I'd love to have something yield me a ton of money or a great return overnight. It just doesn't happen, I mean, for some people it does. And I think as, whenever you pursue music, there's always sort of a struggle because you'd like to have more success. As an up-and-coming musician, you'd like to have more success than you have, so you have to learn to try and be more patient, which is going to help you out in life in a number of areas. But when we started to see the comments coming in from Europe and South America, that's where we started to realize, okay, this is cool. We thought, we liked some of these tunes, but other people are saying, hey, cool tunes. And when they're able to actually ask you, hey, are you influenced by this band? And they're dead on. Or somebody draws you a picture in class while they're sitting in high school and say they had a bad day, but then they listened to your song and they made them feel better, and they drew you a picture while they were in fifth grade.
That's got to be a cool feeling.
Fifth hour.
Yeah.
That's when, but I got to tell you, it's really not USA centric or focused. It's really much more of a Latin, South America, and a European support and just awareness.
Hey, talk about your new album, Stranger Things.
Well, so Stranger Things, we just put out a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And just like on As Long as the Money Lasted, the debut album, there's elements of Pink Floyd, Mastodon, and just, Steely Dan, Pumpkin, things that we truly, I think, you couldn't help but make sure it was on there, because you never know if you're going to have a second album. And
what's the phrase our boss always says, DC here at the radio station? You've got an eternity to write the first album, but then you have a few months to write the second. So there's always such pressure in the second one.
That's definitely a thing. And what we wanted to do, and we were really blessed to have a Kickstarter be funded, and that really alleviated us putting the first one together. So whether it's Mastodon, but Fleetwood Mac is just as big to me as Mastodon is for me, and a lot of my bassist and my brother Joel and Zach, they're such great guys to just pick their brain on music, because there's so many things that we all love, and together as a band, everybody, there's certain groups that we all listen to, but then, my little brother's 23 going on 24 in a month, and he shows me things I had no idea existed from the 70s. And so we have such a good, well to draw from for inspiration. But really, if I could sort of make sense of Stranger Things Have Happened was a cool EP, because you got an instrumental jam in 6/8 that's pretty heavy. You've got a 5/4 mathy, prog rock song. You've got a 4/4 straight ahead love song, and then you've got this electronic song, Stranger Things, that's sequenced drums, and there's no such thing for us as, just an acoustic album, or you guys just do electronic songs.
Yeah.
Just do shredding 6/8, or odd time signature stuff. It's really a blend of everything. And this next EP, we engineered ourselves. So you're not going to hear shakers and triangles and all sorts of auxiliary, and no one's ripping a guitar solo through a Leslie speaker. You know what I mean? This is just, okay, there's 2 distorted guitars, there's a bass, and there's a drummer, and that's what's on it.
Because when I listen to it, it sounds so technical, but yet it's not. You have all these different things going on. Like, some of it builds up slowly, some of it's right there in your face, some of it just kind of glides. When you listen to your music, it's kind of like you can put on your headphones on a Sunday afternoon in a hammock, and your mind just takes you wherever it wants to go, if that makes any sense.
It's so nice to hear that, and I do. I think people feel awkward talking or loving their own music.
Yeah.
And I didn't make that music for you, man. I made that for me.
It's like an extension of you.
My brothers and I have been playing our whole lives together. I wanted to take a swing and make sure my one walk on this earth, I had a body music with my bros. And it just, when people listen to it and appreciate it, it's really, really fun and really cool. And the thing is people, I think, musicians will go, oh, thanks so much. You're going, I can sit in a hammock. Dude, me too. I love sitting in a hammock and listen to that album front to back.
Because you guys call your music progressive sci-fi yacht metal.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I felt, because it's like it's like sci-fi, like you're floating in space, but you're in a yacht passing by Pluto, and you don't know what's going on in the galaxy.
Explain the phrase yacht metal to me. A bunch of guys hanging out on the yacht, sipping on some Dawn, listening to Band Royale.
Yacht rock it's just one of the greatest things to ever happen in America.
Yeah.
Yacht rock is awesome. We love yacht rock. It's probably the best general playlist you can get going on Spotify is the yacht rock playlist. But, you talk about Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers. A lot of those players were freaking technical players, and it was all hi-fi stuff. So that debut album is really, again, this next body is a snippet of the general direction that, it's a snippet of sort of some of the new riff and some of the stuff. You like this vibe, this is the direction. That debut album, though, was really, that was for audiophiles. That was for us to put on, to take the vinyl and stick it on the record player, turn up your whether it was B&W speakers or your Paradigms. That was for nerding out, man. That's what we did. This next one's going to be a little different, but the yacht rock was a lot of audiophile, high fidelity audio, and it was some real serious players. Really serious players. Steely Dan, lights out, man, the session guys they had. So yacht metal, okay, we're not a yacht rock band because we do have these elements of, again, we really, really love Mastodon, are good friends with those guys. So they've seeped into our musicianship. So yacht metal would allow us to call ourselves the world's first or the world's only yacht metal band. And then if you actually looked for the hashtag on Instagram to see if anybody had ever used it before, no one had used it.
No, not at all.
So it was like, so that's what we're going to be. We're going to be a yacht metal band.
No, because there's so many different genres of metal. And yacht metal, I did not know anything about. What in the hell is yacht metal? I've heard it all, but yacht metal, I was like, what?
Too seriously,
Which I loved about it, because it's kind of like you were making fun of it, but yet I liked it. It was a really good way of putting it, because it's not like in your face metal, but it's not like it's hard to explain. What am I gonna do?
Well, and that's the other thing. It's hard for us. My fiance is a nanny, and they've got a wonderful younger family she nannies for, and they're saying, what kind of music is it? And what do I do there? It's kind of rock, but then also dads really like it, but it's kind of metally. The yacht metal thing was funny, because people generally have an idea what yacht rock is, and if you don't, you can make sense of it real quick for them. Hey, it's music that a bunch of white people would listen to on a boat.
Which I get.
I can get into.
I think it's really easy to make fun of a bunch of white people on a boat. So I think that's a great way to just, your music. You listen to it, that these guys definitely love to play music. We also we're just a bunch of brothers goofing off.
Now, is Zach the newest member of your band?
Yep.
Because I saw the skate video that you guys made, which I've been skateboarding since I was 10.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Zach as an older brother. I've always kind of been, damn it, I wish we had the means to just pull them out, have homeschooled them, got me RV, and just did all the competition circuit. As I've gotten older, and I coached him for years, he's developed this style where he'll go compete in the competition, but not because he wants to win, just because, you know, the damn Am, or like the people that play on the Tampa Am, or here in Chicago, or Dude Tour. He's that guy that a lot of the industry knows about, like that dude.
Yeah.
But he's not trying to monetize it, go living off it, become professional. But if you are like a professional skater, when you're in town, you get a hold of Zach, because he's like the ripper.
He's the one.
And he won't, you know, the same me like, hey, will you guys ever, you know, why don't you write a song that sounds more like this? It's like, dude, that's not the idea. Like, we'll write whatever happens in real time when it comes to us. Don't aim to write something for a specific purpose. For us, that compromises with the entire integrity of making the tune together. The same way Zach is not going to go do a line that gets him X amount of points that maybe will put him into the top 3.
Yeah.
He looks at that skate park just like we look at music, and he just, you know, there's a difference between a drummer that, you know, can really, really jam and has a good feel, or a guy doing, you know, in drum line who knows his parameters and his bars and like the start and the beginning. And he shreds. Like he plays and he listens to music the same way that he skateboards, and it's a joy to watch.
It is, because you can tell that he doesn't have it planned out. He's just flowing with what he has to go with. He comes to him when it comes to him, and he does it when he can see it.
Yep, and he, you know, the same way. Like I'm old school. I think guitar solos should be in every song. You know, that first album, there's a guitar solo in every song.
Gotta have the medleys.
Zach. You know, he's a street skater. Like he's got to toss in a handrail, and you know, there's got to be a clip of him bombing a handrail, or bombing a huge stair set in there, not just curbs and ledges, or you know, or parks.
Something about the sound of that handrail slapping, man. It's a badass sound.
I love
that sound.
One of our sponsors is Globe. It's a skate brand, and most of our band is just wearing pretty much skateboarding clothing from head to toe. But skateboarding clothing's gotten so cool and just so simple that you can't even tell like if they're skateboarding shoes. You know.
Yeah.
This is something I was talking with Brady a few months back or so. I bought Vans when I was a kid because they were like $20 and they were cool shoes. And nowadays you go into the mall and they have like a Van store and they're like $100, $200 for a pair of Vans. What happened?
Blew up. I mean, they're trendy. They're
yes. There's no denying that.
Hey, I gotta say, the bottoms of the soles of Vans are just some of the best gripping shoes on a skateboard.
Yeah, if you skate, you gotta skate Vans, hands down.
The waffle bottoms, man.
Yes.
You know how it kind of looks like a waffle, because I've always loved Vans. I used to skateboard real seriously, and I had my legs sort of screwed back on, and that's when I had to throw in the towel, pass the torch.
No, that sucks, man. I hate to hear that.
Well, you guys are big sci-fi nuts, so give me your favorite sci-fi movie of all time and one that I need to go check out that I don't know about.
Well, listen, Star Wars is our favorite.
Yeah, I heard you have a Star Wars room.
We have a lot of Star Wars stuff. We between DC, because I was real big with Superman, and then Superman and Star Wars are the big two. So we used to have a storage unit filled with like collectibles and memorabilia, and now kind of there's still big old boxes. Some of your parents' house, some of your back room. Joel we all lived together for quite a while. So all of us finally, just the Ballmans that is, got our own places in the last few months. So everyone has their own individual shrine. But when we were all together, we had a room that was just vintage 70s, 80s, and from the 6-foot stand-up, you know, cutouts, you name it. And then a movie that you should see, a really good sci-fi movie. Let me think here. Really like, most people will sleep on it, they don't know. Moon is a movie it's a little indie film, and
is that the one with Sam Rockwell?
Yeah. I just like it because it's very they built the sets, you know what I mean? So it's not a little CGI as possible.
Tell me more about what's the name of it?
It's called Moon. Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. It's from like late just probably before 2010 there, and they got Kevin Spacey on it too, but he's actually a robot. He's a voiceover. He does the voiceover for a robot. It's just cool. It's just a cool little movie one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite movie that Sam Rockwell ever did. But I think that you'll see that too, and you might even see some colors and some palettes, some things that you can see that even infiltrated some of our artwork. Each one of the debut album cuts has its own original artwork.
Yeah, like the one for Stranger Things.
Yep, totally. That was super retro.